Right, just before I start this video off properly, can we just talk about the fact that, I have a softbox now. That means I can actually light things up properly, and I don't just have to rely on natural daylight anymore. I'm a real YouTuber now. Alright, so my last video was about Colourpop, so it kind of makes sense that I also make a video about Anastasia Beverly Hills. Those have been the two big brands that have been critiqued for their rampant consumerist attitudes recently. It's especially out of character for Anastasia because they usually are a brand that has very considered releases, and this year they were just like, let's do everything. I mean, I'm all for brands doing things differently and trying out something new, but it is a little unsettling when you have all of these releases coming at you and it just feels like more for monetary reasons rather than actually creating valuable art. That being said, I did buy the Riviera palette and the Alyssa Edwards palette, which is here. Actually, I got this one for Christmas, so technically I didn't buy it. You can blame my parents for that. So basically, take anything I say in this video with a grain of salt, but I did want to speculate a little bit about some of the reasons why this is happening. Why is Anastasia going all full throttle all of a sudden? We've had a lot of releases. We've had, obviously, Alyssa Edwards, and then we had the Jackie Aina palette, and then pretty quickly after that we have the 3 Norvina Pro palette, which were kind of in quick succession. Pretty sure 2 of them actually got released on the same day. Yeah. And then we got the Kali Bible palette, and now we've just received news of the new Amrezy palette. I've heard rumours about them slowing down after this, but I still want to get into why they sped up so much in the first place. So I have a set of theories that I have arranged into a list and I'm presenting to you today. Some of these are more grounded in evidence, some are a little bit more just plain speculative, but I really wanted to create a conversation about why is this happening? How come all of these palettes are suddenly coming out? So let's discuss. Number 1, Sephora is running out of brands. A lot of different brands nowadays seem to be going more towards Ulta. That seems to be the more favoured option nowadays. I've actually noticed that with consumers as well. Not that I'd know, because we don't have Sephora or Ulta in the UK. Still bitter. One of their biggest brands, which is Kat Von D, is suddenly bombing. Wonder why. So they need to try and capitalise upon the existing big brands that they have. So one of those is obviously Anastasia Beverly Hills. They've already sold all the subculture palettes to TJ Maxx and Marshalls and TK Maxx in the UK, where I got mine, thanks. I'm not going to complain about that. So they can't get those back, and they're already shipping all of the new palettes. Like, I've seen Riviera and Alyssa Edwards there now. So that's too late. They can't just put those on the shelves. So now they need to fill the shelves with something. They've asked Anastasia, we've got loads of bare shelves. We need them filled. So they decided, let's just make some extra supplies and have fun with it. Number 2, Norvina wants her sub-brand, which she's launched this year, to be equal to the main Anastasia Beverly Hills brand. However, ABH has released quite a lot of palettes over the years, and since Norvina wants these brands to be equally beefed up, like, ABH has made, like, at least 13 palettes. I'm probably missing out on a few there. So now Norvina needs to make 13 new palettes. Otherwise, they're not going to be equal. She needs those palettes, like, now. And what kind of thickens this tale is that her mother is also playing along with it, like this friendly competition. It's like this mother-daughter bonding exercise of who can release the most palettes quickly and who can, like, up the numbers fast enough. You know those little childhood games you play with your family, which involve vociferous consumerism and probably a lot of pollution. Such fun. Number 3. They want enough palettes to represent the different zodiac signs. Basically, Norvina likes her zodiac signs, so in order to optimise their performance as far as the sun, moon and stars are concerned, she wants a palette for each of the 12 zodiac signs, but also the 13th sign of Fiacus. I mean, it's all good having inclusivity regarding race and gender identity and disability, but we need to represent the real underrepresented market of Fiacuses. Once she put this plan into place, she realised, oh, this is a good idea, but it just isn't enough. She had to represent every single possibility in the world. And it's all good having your palette represent your sun sign, but what if it doesn't also represent your moon sign? What if you're a Taurus sun and a Sagittarius moon? You can't expect consumers to buy more than one palette, otherwise they're going to complain about consumerism. So the palette needs to represent both. So now Norvina wants a palette for each of these combinations. Every single combination of sun, moon sign needs to have its own palette. There can't be intersections, they have to be unique. We can't be acting like some of our consumers are the same as these ones. They're all individual, we have to cater for them all. And this is just the start of this process, so I would expect to see at least 169 different eyeshadow palettes in the future. I mean, I don't know what else they have planned. They might be considering, like, rising signs as well. So that's like at least another 100 over that. So enjoy your palettes, sis. Number 4, another thing Norvina loves is a good photo shoot. Photo shoots are fun. Well, as far as I know, I've only done a couple of photo shoots and they've actually kind of been a little taxing. But to some people, photo shoots are probably really fun. Every time a palette gets released, she gets to do a photo shoot and it's cool and it's fun and it's exciting. She gets to put on wigs and costumes and really have fun. And she loves these photo shoots so much that she's releasing palettes so she can have the photo shoot. Like, literally, that's the reason the palettes are coming out, is because she wants to have the photo shoot afterwards. And she's making these palettes for the sole reason that you get the photo shoot afterwards. And you're probably thinking, well, she could just hold a photo shoot without making a palette, but that's not a very effective use of the budget. And her mom's gonna come down and be like, sis, why is all this money going into these photo shoots? We need to invest this properly into the brand. However, if it's tied to a new release, and tied to a brand new eyeshadow palette, or eyelashes, or setting spray, or whatnot, and it has a photo shoot with it, that's an effective use of the budget because it's incorporating a new product launch and it's helping build the brand more. And because she really, really loves photo shoots, yeah, that explains all the palettes you're getting. Number 5, there is an abundance of velvet in the ABH headquarters. Literally, like 5 million yards, so much velvet, just infinite amounts of velvet. It's like the head of the Hydra, you cut off one bit of velvet and it just keeps growing. And they need to get rid of it somehow, so they're using it to cover eyeshadow palettes. However, the trick is, when you cut it, it grows even more. So now they're just in this endless cycle of having all of this velvet in the HQ in Romania. I'm pretty sure it's in Romania. And it's just this endless cycle of cutting off velvet, putting it on a palette. Oh, it's grown again, we have to do it again. And I think they're getting wind of this because a lot of the newer palettes don't have the velvet packaging, like good old Alyssa Edwards, which just has cardboard. But then again, they're doing those holiday bundles with Soft Glam and Modern Renaissance, so it's obvious they're still trying to use up this velvet, and I wish them luck in that. Number 6, Norvina is a witch. I don't mean that in the pejorative way, I literally mean she's practicing witchcraft. Do y'all remember when Lana Del Rey participated in that binding ritual against Donald Trump to try and like stop him from causing harm to people? She's basically doing a similar thing to that, only it involves the manufacture of eyeshadow palettes. It's this ancient ritual that involves the construction, design, and manufacture of all of these different eyeshadow palettes, and it's what it says in the ancient scriptures. Can't ignore the ancient scriptures. It's what is that? If it says make 100 eyeshadow palettes, I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you. You gotta do it. I'm not sure what her intentions are in terms of what she aims to do, but it's presumably to solve quite a few of the problems that are going on around in the earth today. But like the environmental impact of this probably is doing it the other way. So yeah, I don't think it's working out so well for her. Number 7 is a weird one, so you might have to like hold on to this. But Norvina wants to set the palette line apart from other big name palette lines, like the Naked palettes, the chocolate bars, etc, etc. It needs to be better than that, it needs to be bigger than that, it needs to be a more established thing than those. Those are like institutions, and we need to be like up here, like above the view of the camera where you can't even see my hand. We need to be at that level. So Norvina is campaigning to make the ABH palette a species. So the ABH palettes are basically dogs, and they have breeds within themselves. It's this whole big species with all these Latin names, but they have like simple names so the audience can get them. They require a bit of upkeep, you have to kind of clean them. I mean, a lot of them basically have fur already, and it's a bit of a maintenance to take care of them. Buying an ABH palette is an investment, unless you get it in THA Maxx, like I did with half of my palettes. So they're kind of already there in terms of being a species. But you can't just have one type of palette dog. In order to make this species viable, Norvina has to make as many different types of palette breeds in order to make them a viable species. There has to be a lot of them. Neutrals are the new terriers, warm tones are the new Great Danes, cool tones are the new bulldogs, rainbow palettes are basically poodles. And then when we get even more specific into the nitty-gritty and cross-breeding of different ones, basically you have the forms of a viable species, and I wish Norvina much luck on that, because scientifically engineering a new species isn't terrifying at all. Number 8, the ABH palettes are secretly the Avengers. Okay, this one seems a bit far-fetched. I know. It's gonna come to my comments saying like, Ari, that's ridiculous. That would never happen. However, I have some important chains of little evidence chains, and if you just let me piece them together, you'll understand it. Every Anastasia Beverly Hills palette has a superpower, and they have to have their own unique abilities. If you think about it, and you think about the different palettes and their different qualities, it starts making sense. Modern Renaissance's superpower is flexibility. Subculture's power is super strength because of its really intense pigment. Prism's superpower is this weird Doctor Strange-esque magic. The Riviera palette's superpower is speed because it came out in the spring instead of the summer. The Kali Bible's superpower is invisibility because nobody bought it. The Alyssa Edwards palette is basically imbued with the power of gay, which is totally a real power and not just throwing sequins on everything. I mean, I know. Since other worlds of superheroes are expanding so quickly with their big cinematic universes, ABH has to expand quickly too. So they have to make more unique heroes. Like, did you see how many people were in Infinity War? Like, they need to do more, and create this advanced team of amazing eyeshadow palettes with amazing powers. Look at this. Be entranced by the power of gay. It's incredible. So ABH are feeling the pressure, and now they're really buckling down and creating these super powered palettes. It's the ABHCU. It's gonna be amazing, guys. And my last theory, number 9, there's no weird supernatural thing. All of that's just rubbish. There are no superpowers or palette species or witchcraft. Nothing to do with that. Anastasia Beverly Hills is just making a lot of different eyeshadow palettes, and they're distributing them across the world. It's just eyeshadow palettes. Eyeshadow palettes that are heavy. Eyeshadow palettes with hard edges. Eyeshadow palettes that can kill. What I'm really saying is that ABH is working with the government to distribute weapons-grade eyeshadow palettes to the masses. Ones with the capacity to strike and kill rivals. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's probably aliens. So that's why you have palettes that are heavy and have these sharp edges, because you never know. You never know when aliens gonna come in your house and beat the shit out of you. I mean, I've got like a softbox blocking the door, but could still get through, could still fall down, could be eaten by an alien, but because I have my trusty Alyssa Edwards, I can whack it and just get it out of the sight. And the reason that the eyeshadows are so soft, I haven't actually talked about the specific eyeshadows yet. The eyeshadows are so soft because it's distraction. Smoke and mirrors, so they can be in this haze of powdered eyeshadow before you bludgeon them to a pulp. All I'm gonna say is that we get captured by an extraterrestrial race. We need to find a way to be our captors. And guns don't kill people. Sultry pellets kill people. And those are all my theories. Or maybe it's just investors, I don't know. So I know that this was a bit of a weird video, but I really wanted to explore a lot of possibilities and really explore this strange anomaly in eyeshadow releases. So let me know what you think. If you like these theories, let me know down below. If you think these theories are ridiculous, join the club. But sometimes you have to get a little ridiculous in order to find the truth. If you like this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you like me, which I really hope you do because I'm trying my best, and you can subscribe to my channel. There's a button, I don't know where the camera's gonna flip. It's somewhere down here. And hit the bell because you never know when I might upload. And if you want to see more of me, you can always follow me on my social media accounts where I'm posting not only cute pictures of myself, but I'm also doing palette mock-ups now. So you can find those on my Instagram, and you can also find my weird talking points on Twitter, and I will leave those in the end screen so you can see them. Thank you so much for watching, I love you all, and if I don't upload something in the next year, it's because they got me. Stay safe, everyone.